The soft click-clack of your Mac keyboard filled the quiet living room. You were sitting cross-legged on the couch, a pillow resting on your lap with your laptop balanced on top. Your eyes focused on the screen as your fingers danced over the keys. The faint scent of strawberries and milk drifted from the kitchen, where Jungkook was busy making breakfast and a smoothie. The morning was calm, peaceful. Only the sound of typing, sizzling butter, and gentle humming filled the space. A few minutes later, Jungkook stepped into the room, holding a tall glass of strawberry smoothie in one hand and a playful smile on his face. "Jungkook, here Yin, drink this." He extended the glass toward you, his tone soft but insistent. You didn't even look up, your eyes still glued to the screen. "Yin, just keep it on the coffee table please, I'll drink it later." His smile faded slightly. He glanced at your laptop and frowned. He could see the tension in your shoulders, the way your fingers moved quickly, too quickly. "Jungkook, that can wait baby. Just take a small break, drink it." "Yin, you barely hummed, still typing." He sighed quietly and moved closer, his sock-covered feet making no sound against the floor. Sitting beside you, he held the glass near your lips. "Jungkook, okay, just open your mouth a little. Let me help you." Your fingers froze for a second, your heart skipping a beat at the sound of his gentle voice right beside your ear. You turned slightly, about to protest. "Yin, I said before you could finish." The rim of the glass touched your lips. Jungkook's eyes softened. "Jungkook, please, just let me make you drink it." A tiny smile curved your lips. You finally looked at him, his messy hair, his hopeful eyes, the little crease on his forehead. You couldn't stay serious around him. You opened your mouth, and he tilted the glass gently. The cool, creamy smoothie touched your tongue, and your eyes fluttered shut for a second. It was delicious. Jungkook's heart warmed seeing the way your expression softened. His eyes lingered on you longer than they should have. Your lashes, your soft lips against the rim of the glass, the faint color in your cheeks. The simple pleasure on your face made his heart race, and though he longed to kiss you, he held back, mindful of the slow, careful way he was trying to build intimacy between you. He couldn't believe how deeply he'd fallen for you in just 6 months. He left a few gulps at the bottom, on purpose, before lowering the glass. "Jungkook, so, how was it?" "Yin, damn tasty. It was so good." "Jungkook." His lips curved into a proud smile as he unconsciously reached out, brushing his thumb across your lips to wipe a drop from the corner. "Jungkook, now you can work." He stood, licking his thumb without thinking as he turned to leave. The motion made your stomach flip and your ears warm instantly. You watched him walk away, drinking the last bit of smoothie from the same spot your lips had touched. You bit your lip, hiding your grin. "Yin, why can't he just ask for a kiss?" You shook your head, chuckling quietly and focusing back on your work. A few minutes later, you saved the final file with a sigh of relief, right when the doorbell rang. "Yin, I'll get it." "Jungkook, okay." You opened the door and your face lit up instantly. "Yin, Yumi, oh my god, it's been so long." Jungkook's sister stood there, a tired but warm smile on her face, holding her 11-month-old baby, Minho, in her arms. "Yin, Jungkook, look who's here." You reached out, carefully taking the baby from her arms. "Oh my goodness, Minho, look at you. Cutie, you've grown so much." Yumi smiled, her shoulders relaxing as Minho instantly cuddled against you. "Jungkook, hey Yumi, come inside." "Yin, yes, come in, it's cold out there." But Yumi shook her head, looking apologetic. "Yumi, actually, I have a favor to ask. I have a very important interview today, and Jay's in a meeting he can't skip. Can you please take care of Minho for a few hours? I'll be back by 5, I promise." "Yin, oh come on, you don't have to ask. Look at him, he already loves me. Don't worry, we'll take good care of him." Jungkook leaned closer, tickling Minho's chin gently. "Jungkook, he's a good boy right? Aren't you Minho?" The baby giggled, grabbing Jungkook's nose with his tiny hand, and both you and Yumi laughed. "Yumi, thank you seriously, you're saving my day." "Yin, don't worry about a thing. Focus on your interview and do well, okay? All the best." Jungkook, yeah, Yumi, go. We've got him. Yumi handed over Minho's small diaper bag and smiled gratefully before hurrying off. You looked at Jungkook and then down at Minho, who was babbling happily in your arms. "Jungkook, looks like we're babysitters today." You laughed, adjusting Minho against your hip as Jungkook leaned in to kiss the baby's forehead. Minutes later, you sat on the couch with Minho cradled gently in your arms, his tiny fingers curling around yours as he babbled happily. Eyes sparkling, Jungkook reappeared from the kitchen with a small plate of breakfast, a playful grin tugging at his lips. Yin, it's okay, Jungkook, I can eat later. Finish your food first, you said softly, adjusting Minho on your lap. Jungkook, oh, I can do that later. Let me feed you, he replied, lowering himself to sit beside you. He glanced at Minho, who squealed and wiggled in delight. Right, Minho? He added with a teasing grin. The little boy's hands flailed excitedly, and then, curious as ever, his tiny fingers found the necklace around your neck. He held it tightly, fascinated by the shine and weight of it. Yin, oh, you like it, huh? You murmured, smiling at the sight. Jungkook chuckled and addressed Minho, though the baby couldn't understand a word. Jungkook, I gave this to her, he said warmly, pointing at the necklace. Minho just giggled, a bubbly, uncontrollable sound that made his little back bounce in delight. Oh, he's so lovely, Jungkook whispered, leaning down to plant soft kisses on the baby's chubby cheeks. Your gaze followed his lips, tracing the way they curved around Minho's soft skin. Your heart skipped a beat. His lips looked impossibly kissable, and your eyes betrayed you, trailing back to his face even after he straightened up. Then he extended another bite toward you. Jungkook, you okay? Yin, yeah, you replied, cheeks warming, accepting the bite and letting him feed you. Breakfast passed in a flurry of soft laughter, playful gestures, and tiny coos from Minho. Once you both had eaten and your work was submitted before the deadline, you lay back on the bed upside down as you played with Minho, tickling him gently and making him squeal with joy. Jungkook retreated to the couch, ostensibly to work, but his laptop barely held his attention. His gaze never left you. Your back arched slightly as you reached for a toy to help Minho, your hips shifting with the movement. Jungkook's eyes followed every curve, the subtle rise and fall of your body sending shivers through him. He didn't hide the way he stared, and you didn't shy away, didn't pull your top down to hide your stomach, purposely leaving yourself open to his gaze. You loved it, the silent acknowledgement between the two of you, a wordless flirtation that made the air thick. His pulse raced with restraint. He wanted you more than he had words for, yet he held back, savoring the teasing tension. You could drive me insane with just a look, he thought to himself, swallowing hard, his hands curling into fists to keep his control. Meanwhile, Minho yawned again, sleepy and seeking comfort. Yin, oh, sleepy already, you whispered, brushing his soft hair and holding him closer. Do you want to sleep on your aunt's chest? The little boy snuggled in immediately, his soft weight resting against your chest. His soft breathing slowed almost immediately as he found the security he craved. Jungkook leaned back on the couch, whispering to himself, look at him, stealing my wife already. His voice was low, almost to himself. You didn't hear him, entirely absorbed in Minho's sleepy sighs. Minho had been quietly resting on your chest for a while, but suddenly his tiny body started to shift and squirm. His soft murmurs turned into restless whines, his little legs kicking as if something was bothering him. You frowned, worried, patting his back gently in slow, soothing circles. Yin, hey, what happened, baby? You whispered softly, pressing a kiss to his head. What's wrong? You tried humming a tune to calm him, but it didn't seem to help. Minho wriggled again, turning his head from side to side against your chest, letting out small, impatient cries. Jungkook, who had been half focused on his laptop and half on you both, immediately sat upright, his eyebrows knitted together in concern as he closed his laptop. Jungkook, is he peeing again? He asked, standing up quickly. You slipped your hand down to check Minho's little pants, but shook your head. Yin, no, he isn't. Jungkook's eyes widened a little when he saw Minho's tiny hand clutching at your t-shirt, tugging it down, trying to reach something. Hey, you want to play more? You said softly, completely unaware of what he was trying to signal. The way Minho kept fussing, his little hand hitting softly at you. It clicked immediately in his mind. He pushed the laptop aside and got to his feet in a rush. Jungkook, I think he's hungry, Jungkook said quickly. Let me warm his milk. You froze for a second, finally realizing what he meant. As Jungkook hurried out of the room, you blinked, processing it, your mouth slightly open. How did Jungkook figure it out before you did? You should have known, his signs were so clear. Yin, oh, yes, your milk's coming, baby, you whispered, lightly bouncing Minho in your arms. You adjusted yourself on the bed, leaning back against the headboard. You weren't sitting fully upright, nor lying completely down, just enough so you could hold Minho comfortably in your arms. He kept peeking into your chest, his tiny lips making soft sucking sounds as if expecting something familiar. And just then, Jungkook came back, slightly breathless, with a warm milk bottle in his hand. "Jungkook, got it. I'm here," he said hurriedly, "sitting beside you on the bed." He gently tried to bring the bottle close to Minho's lips, but the baby was having none of it. Minho turned his face away stubbornly, his hands pushing the bottle aside again and again. His little whimpers grew louder, his face scrunching up as frustration took over. Then, before either of you could react, his tiny struggles made half visible, and the fabric of your top shifted awkwardly. You gasped softly, not out of embarrassment but from the suddenness of it. You weren't sure how to position the baby or the bottle without further upsetting him. Jungkook froze for a moment, his breath hitched, his body went rigid, and his heartbeat thundered in his chest. His hand, still holding the milk bottle, trembled slightly. "Yin, Jungkook, what are you doing?" you finally managed to say as you tried to gently free your shirt from Minho's grasp. "Help me." He blinked, coming back to reality, and his panicked eyes darted between your face and the baby. "Jungkook, oh sorry. Yes, here." He quickly leaned forward and managed to get the milk bottle between Minho's lips. The baby instantly latched on, just as he felt few drops of milk landing on his tongue, drinking greedily, his little body relaxing against you. The tension in the room slowly melted as Minho's soft sighs filled the air. "Yin, good boy, that's it," you whispered, patting his back gently. "Drink up, hum. Good boy." Jungkook let out a quiet sigh of relief and smiled, his shoulders easing as he steadied the bottle. "Jungkook, finally, he's calm," he said under his breath. You looked up at him then, your face warm with a faint, knowing smile. Your fingers brushed against his as you helped support the bottle, and his eyes flickered briefly to yours before darting away. "Yin, let me hold him. You should do your work." Jungkook shook his head, hesitating on the edge of the bed. He didn't want to move away, didn't want to break the warmth of your closeness. His hand lingered lightly near yours, the closeness making his heart thrum faster. "Jungkook, no, it's fine. Yin, go." "Jungkook, look, he's already sleepy. He'll fall asleep in a minute." Jungkook exhaled slowly, finally accepting your reassurance. He rose from the bed reluctantly, half-heartedly walking toward the couch. His eyes never left you as you leaned back against the pillows. Minho nestled comfortably against your chest. His fingers itched to reach for you, but he restrained himself, careful not to disturb the fragile peace of the moment. An hour passed. Jungkook's fingers flew over the keyboard, working efficiently yet distractedly. From the couch, he could see you and Minho sleeping side by side. The baby was swaddled in the same blanket as you, his tiny chest rising and falling quickly. Yours was slow, a peaceful rhythm that contrasted with Minho's occasional twitches. A small bottle of milk rested near the baby's head. The room was quiet, sunlight streaming softly through the blinds, and the faint hum of the laptop was the only sound. But then, suddenly, after a few minutes, when Jungkook's eyes flicked up again, almost unconsciously, his heart skipped a beat. Minho was awake, sitting upright beside you, his small hair sticking up in every direction, eyes wide and red-rimmed from sleep, staring around in confusion. "Jungkook, oh, you're awake already." He set the laptop aside, moving swiftly toward the bed to pick him up so he wouldn't wake you. But as his hand approached, Minho's tiny fingers immediately reached for the hem of your t-shirt, yet again, and in that instant, Jungkook realized exactly what the baby wanted. His eyes widened. "Jungkook, dare disturb her, you little monster." Minho glared sharply at him, tiny brows furrowed, as if daring Jungkook to stop him, as if telling him, "You're not in charge here, old man." Jungkook chuckled softly at the defiance, playfully tapping the baby's small hand. "Jungkook, hitting me already." Minho wiggled and tried again, but Jungkook held his tiny wrist gently but firmly. Minho sank his little teeth in Jungkook's finger. Jungkook yelped just slightly, but it was more a tickle than a bite. He chuckled, a soft, warm sound that was only up to him. Then, carefully, he scooped Minho up into his arms, securing the little body against him. He also grabbed the bottle, holding it carefully so Minho could drink without struggling. "Jungkook, now, you'll stay with me." He pressed the bottle gently into Minho's hands. Minho protested slightly at first, his little hands batting the bottle, but Jungkook held steady. The baby's fierce glare softened as the warm milk touched his lips. Slowly, he began to drink, tiny eyelids drooping with drowsiness. Jungkook smiled, gently running his fingers through Minho's soft hair, patting his back lightly. The baby's small body relaxed completely, head resting against Jungkook's chest while the bottle stayed in his mouth. Jungkook, there, now sleep, good boy. Yin, now let's count how many are these, you said in a soft, sing-song voice, pointing at the neatly arranged crockery stacked beautifully on the kitchen counter. Minho clapped his tiny hands, his giggles echoing through the kitchen. He had just woken up from his nap, his hair all messy, and his energy back in full swing. You began counting slowly, tapping each plate with your finger while he followed your rhythm, repeating your words in his babyish mumble. 1, 2, 3. Every time you counted, he laughed louder, his small hands bouncing in excitement. Jungkook stood a few steps away at the stove, stirring the pan, his eyes flicking between the sizzling food and the sight of you both playing. The warmth of the moment pulled a smile on his lips that refused to fade. Yin, now let's count something else, you said, pretending to look around for a new object to keep the little one entertained, but your playful eyes had already found something better. You bit your lip, trying not to laugh at the sudden idea that crossed your mind. Yin, Minho, you whispered in a secretive tone, want to count something really interesting? Minho looked up at you, grinning wide, his 2 tiny teeth showing. He didn't understand, but your excited voice made him giggle louder. Jungkook, oh my, you cutie. Jungkook chuckled, turning his head slightly. Can I know what you both are planning? What are you up to, huh, little one? You ignored his question, leaning a bit forward, your finger slowly moving toward him. Minho's little hand followed yours, pointing in the same direction. Yin, let's count this, you said, smirking as your finger landed on the hem of Jungkook's t-shirt. His face went blank for a second. Jungkook, wait, Yin. But before he could react, you gently lifted the fabric, revealing the firm lines of his abs. Your finger brushed against his warm skin as you exaggerated your tone again. Yin, oh wow, look at this. Minho, 1, 2, you counted slowly, dragging your fingertip across each line as if you were tracing them for the baby. Jungkook froze, his body stiffened instantly, the spoon he was holding nearly falling from his hand. His ears turned bright red, and his heart started racing so fast he thought you might hear it. Jungkook, why Yin, he stuttered, swallowing hard, but his voice cracked slightly. You pretended not to hear him and continued teasingly. Yin, 3, 4. He let out a weak laugh, rubbing the back of his neck helplessly, but his breath was uneven, betraying how flustered he was. Minho squealed, laughing loudly as you continued your playful counting. Yin, 7, 8. Oh my god, Minho, did you see that? 8 abs. You gasped dramatically, your mouth forming a perfect O. Minho laughed harder, clapping his tiny hands in excitement. Jungkook immediately pulled his t-shirt back down, his face now completely red. Jungkook, oh okay, that's enough counting, he muttered, stuttering, his voice shaky as he tried to regain composure. I should start plating the food now. You couldn't hold back your laughter, covering your mouth with one hand as your shoulders shook. His embarrassed reaction was far too cute to handle. Yin, come on, Minho, you said sweetly, turning your attention back to the little boy who was still giggling. Let's count something else. Jungkook turned around, pretending to focus on the plates, but a shy smile lingered on his lips. He could still feel the warmth of your touch on his skin, his heartbeat refusing to calm down. Just when Jungkook was about to move the food to the dinner table, the doorbell rang. The soft chime echoed through the quiet house. You both looked at each other, no words needed. You already knew who it must be. Yin, I think Yumi's here, you said, gently bouncing Minho in your arms. Jungkook wiped his hands on a towel and gave a small nod. Jungkook, yeah, let me check. You shook your head quickly, smiling. Yin, no, it's okay, I got it. He watched as you walked toward the door, Minho resting comfortably against your chest, his little hands playing with your necklace. You opened the door, and as expected, Yumi stood there, her face instantly brightening when her eyes landed on her baby. Yumi, oh my god, she gasped softly, her voice full of affection. Look at him, he looks so happy. Did you enjoy your time here, hum? Minho's entire face lit up. He squealed with excitement and reached out for her, his tiny fingers opening and closing impatiently. You smiled, leaning forward to pass him into her arms. Yumi scooped him up immediately, holding him tight and covering his face in soft kisses. You stepped aside to let her in, but she didn't move. She looked guilty, shifting her weight from one foot to another. Yumi, oh no, Yin, she said with a little sigh. I'm really sorry, but I can't stay. I have to go right away. You frowned slightly surprised. Yin, but before you could finish, Jungkook's voice came from behind you. Jungkook, why? Come in, let's have dinner together. He stepped closer, his expression warm and welcoming. Yin, yes, you added softly, in the morning too you were in a hurry. How did your interview go? She smiled proudly. Yumi, it went great. I think I did pretty well honestly. Jungkook's eyes softened. Jungkook, that's really good. I knew you'd do well. She chuckled and adjusted Minho on her hip. Yumi, thank you, but my mother-in-law came over as soon as I got back, and now we're heading out for dinner with her. I promise I'll come next time and stay longer. Yin, alright, no worries, family dinners are important. You turned back into the house, grabbed Minho's diaper bag, and handed it to her. She took it gratefully. Yumi, thank you so much for taking care of him, she said sincerely. Looking between you and Jungkook, I hope he didn't trouble you too much. Jungkook shook his head immediately, his lips curving into a fond smile. Jungkook, not at all. You smiled too, glancing at the now calm baby in her arms. Yin, he didn't, Yumi, and even if he had, it wouldn't have been a problem at all. He's adorable. Yumi's eyes softened as she looked at you both. Yumi, thank you, she said again, adjusting Minho's blanket. I'll see you both soon. You smiled too, glancing at the now calm baby in her arms. Yin, he didn't, Yumi, and even if he had, it wouldn't have been a problem at all. He's adorable. Yumi's eyes softened as she looked at you both. Yumi, thank you, she said again, adjusting Minho's blanket. I'll see you both soon. Dinner ended peacefully, wrapped in soft laughter and warm conversation, mostly about how quiet and dull the house suddenly felt without Minho's tiny giggles echoing through it. The plates were almost done. You stood near the dinner table, passing Jungkook each dish as he washed them one by one. His sleeves were rolled up, his forearms glistening slightly under the kitchen light. He was humming softly, a tune you instantly recognized, the one he knew you loved the most. You smiled, your heart melting a little at how effortlessly he could calm your world with just a few notes. After cleaning the table, you wiped your hands and slowly walked toward him. You hesitated for a second, watching him rinse another plate, completely unaware of what you were about to do. Then, without thinking much, you slid your arms around his waist from behind. Your cheek pressed softly against his back as you locked your hands in front of his abdomen, holding him tight. He froze for a brief moment, his hands still under the running water. Then a wide, genuine smile spread across his face. He didn't move, he just stood there, letting you hold him, feeling the warmth of your body against his back, the faint press of your cheek on his shoulder, the flutter that rushed through his stomach at your touch. His heart raced a little faster, and his breath came deeper. Yin, hey, you murmured softly, he replied, his voice low and husky, tinged with the lingering joy of your touch. Jungkook, hey, Yin, you know I love you, right? Jungkook, I do, he said without hesitation, and I love you more, and more every single day. His words were calm, but his mind was racing. Something about the tone in your voice told him you had something more to say, something he'd been secretly wishing to hear. Yin, the house seems so dull without him, you whispered, your breath tickling his neck. He felt a shiver run through him. Jungkook, not gonna lie, he chuckled softly, it really does, but deep down, his thoughts weren't as casual. Please say it. His heart begged, please say you want a baby. He wanted to be a father more than anything, but he didn't have the courage to ask you, not because he doubted your love, but because he respected your choice. It was your body, your pace, your decision. He never wanted to make you feel pressured or guilty. And then, you said the words he had been dreaming to hear. Yin, I know it's only been a few months since our marriage. You began, your arms tightening around him. But Jungkook, imagine us having a little baby roaming around the house. Your voice trembled slightly with emotion. Yin, I want to be a mom. Time seemed to stop for a heartbeat. He froze. His heart skipped a beat so hard that he almost forgot to breathe. Slowly, he wiped his wet hands on the towel and turned around carefully, not wanting to break your hold on him. His eyes found yours, and they looked different, softer, full of something raw and deep, a mix of shock, happiness, and emotion he couldn't quite put into words. You smiled up at him, your eyes glistening. He cupped your cheeks with his warm, slightly damp hands, his thumbs brushing your skin tenderly. Then he leaned forward until your foreheads touched. His voice broke into a whisper, heavy with emotion. Jungkook, do you even know how much those words mean to me? You blinked, leaning further into his touch. He let out a shaky breath, pressing a long, firm kiss to your forehead. It wasn't just affection, it was gratitude, relief, and love all tangled together. Yin, I trust you. Jungkook, you whispered softly. I trust you enough to say those words. You're a good man, and it's not something I have to think twice about when I picture you as a father. His eyes immediately filled up. Without another word, he wrapped his arms tightly around you, pulling you into his chest. You felt his heart pounding against your cheek as he buried his face in your hair, kissing your forehead again and again. Jungkook, I love you so much, Yin, he murmured, his voice trembling slightly. I love you so much, and I promise you, I'll never make you regret this, not ever. You pressed your face into his chest, closing your eyes and letting the warmth of his embrace fill every corner of you. Yin, I know, I will never, you whispered back, your voice barely audible, but full of conviction. He smiled, and for a long moment, you just stared at each other. The calm between you was almost tangible, like a soft cushion surrounding you, and the warmth of his arms around your waist made you feel impossibly safe. Jungkook, can I kiss you? He asked softly, his voice low, almost hesitant, but his eyes were burning with longing. You nodded immediately, almost eager, your heart racing as you leaned closer. He didn't hesitate either this time. The first touch was gentle, soft, testing, like he wanted to make sure you were ready. Then it deepened, teeth grazing lips lightly, exploring, and your body pressed closer against his. The warmth of his chest against yours sent shivers down your spine. Your hands roamed instinctively over his arms and chest, gripping, tracing, memorizing the feel of him. His hands tightened around your waist, pulling you closer, threading through your hair, holding you to him like he never wanted to let go. You gasped softly as your fingers brushed his abs. Just a teasing, gentle touch. A low, amused chuckle vibrated against your lips, making your heart skip a beat. He pulled back just enough to let the sound reach you, his lips parting with a soft, wet pop that made your heart skip. Jungkook, wanna count my abs again? In the bedroom, he whispered, his breath tingling against your lips. Teasing, playful but full of desire. Your cheeks flushed, heat creeping over your neck as you laughed softly, breathless. Yin, yeah, in the bedroom, you repeated, your pulse quickening. Before you could react, his hands slid under your thighs, lifting you effortlessly against him. Your legs curled around his waist, arms clutching his shoulders, your body flush against his. You pressed your lips to his again, deeper this time, more urgent. Every kiss sent sparks through your body, every touch a shiver that ran from your toes to your fingertips. Yin, I love you, Jungkook, you murmured between kisses, words melting against him, almost drowned by the intensity of the moment. He smiled against your lips, a slow, deliberate smile, and whispered back, Jungkook, I love you even more, Yin. I love you so much. His fingers traced the curve of your back, sliding gently beneath your top, caressing, massaging, exploring you. Step by step, he carried you toward the bedroom. The world outside disappeared. Every sound, every light, every distraction faded until there was only the two of you. The warmth of his body, the softness of your skin against his, the sound of kisses, and the rhythm of your breathing sinking together.